Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'll show you how you can implement Flutterwave payments in your FlutterFlow app. There are some tutorials out there that show you how to use custom widgets, custom code, custom actions, basically custom actions and custom widgets. But most of those tutorials are not really detailed for beginners. So we're going to start with implementing Flutterwave because as a beginner, I wanted to, implement Flutterwave payments in my app. I searched for the tutorials and there was none. There was no single tutorial explicitly showing you how to do this. So I'm going to begin this tutorial by saying this page is basically all about building things for beginners, things that you would not find the tutorials out there, right? Because most tutorials there, people assume you know it, you should know it. People assume that you should already know a lot of things about FlutterFlow, right? But as a beginner, you get lost most of the times. Even when you think you know FlutterFlow, there are some things you will even get stuck in and you won't know how to, get it done. So in this tutorial, we'll begin by showing you how to implement Flutterwave and, handle the navigation, basically when you want to do something like after the person has made his payments, you have to navigate the person to the next page, to the successful page and stuff like that, right? Most times they will tell you to use the deep linking and stuff like that, but I can tell you as a beginner, deep linking was kind of confusing and most times it didn't work, right? It didn't work out for me. So Flutterwave basically allows your users to make payments and you can display the payments screen with a web view. You can display the payment screen with a web view, but the problem is web view does not understand deep linking. The inbuilt web view in FlutterFlow does not understand deep linking, so you get stuck there also. Do you understand? You get stuck there also. So in this tutorial, we'll be using a PubSec dependency, and here is it. We'll be using this one, and we'll implement it. This one will automatically handle situation of if the payment was successful or cancelled, right? You'll see how it works. So let's go. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to create a custom action. We'll create a custom action. It's going to be a custom action. I already have the code here with me, so I'm going to paste it here, and I'm also going to leave it in the description and in this video. All right, so first thing first, let's copy the code. This is the code. We're going to copy it. All right, I'm going to copy the code and we're going to paste the code here, and we need to name our custom action. So let's just get the name from here already. Paste it. So we have the name already. We need to save, but there are some parameters that we have to put, right? But to save time, just have to save it, and it will help us create those parameters. So these are the parameters, right? These are the parameters. Then we also need to do 3 things, right? Which is to create 3 page states, right? I'm creating this page state so that in case you want to do some other things with this value, right? The page states will be, one of them would be ref, right? Reference. So let's come to the page state and create a page state called refs. You create another one called, we're going to create a second one called status. So this will store the status for us, status of this transaction for us. If it is successful or failed, it's gonna get stored here, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. Then the third one is the TXREF, which is a transaction reference. This will store the transaction reference of that transaction. which you can then use to make an API call to verify if this payment is actually, do a second verification before approving whatever it is you're approving in your app. So let me make it tier 12. So create these 3 things. We'll make sure you have to make sure you create this as it is, right? Then we'll come back to the custom code, custom action, right? And there's that basically it. Nothing else to do here. Nothing else to do here. And we are done. Now let me explain some things here, right? So the redirect URL is needed, is compulsory. The amount, the email of the user, the transaction reference you generate, right? The one you generate and send to Flutterwave, the customer name. These are important things you need to pass, right? The action, right? This action is very important, right? And you're going to see what happens. Now, this action gets triggered when a transaction is successful, right? So you have two ways to do this. When the transaction is successful, it gets updated in our app state, right? The app state gets updated with success or failed. Do you understand? Or you can do is when the action is successful, you trigger this action. Now, this action, you're going to see how we're going to use it in our app UI. So we're done with this, and we can come here and just create a simple button. Let's just create a simple button. I'm gonna just grab that. I'm just grab that in a row. All right, so make it make payments, right? So we have to add an action here. We'll add an action here. And just copy this. And that action will be, we'll just search for custom action, right? We'll add our custom action here. And the redirect URL, right now, it can be anything, right? It can be anything, right? It's not like we're going to use it, but you can just type in anything you want to type in. So you can type in your website or anything at all you want to type in, but make sure it has something to do with you. Then the amount, let's just put maybe 10. Then the email, let's just put this email. Transaction reference. We have to generate this transaction reference, so we're going to generate it dynamically. So we're going to use a random data. Let's just use a random string and make it 10. Make it 10. Make this 16. And just make sure it's randomized, right? So the customer name is test user. The currency has to be USD or any currency you're working with. Then your public key, right? I have my public key here, so I'm going to just use the public key. Oh, there's something we forgot to add, right? Just a second, right? Just typing on here because I'm going to use this word. We're already handling that inside the code. Now this action, what happens, right? So this action, we can open it and add an action. And here is where we'll add a navigate to, right? So let's just create another page. Let's call this page, let's create another page. I'm hoping to see, but let's use the template, right? So let's use this one. My team. So that's it. Let's fit it. So this is where, let me just promote this. So this is where, congrats. So the payment is successful. It will navigate the user to this page. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this action. So when we scroll down here, we navigate to success, right? So what that simply means is when this payment is successful, it will navigate us to the success screen. But when the user cancels the payments, it will navigate us back to this screen. Now, if you want it to navigate you to another screen, right, on cancel or on payment field, our code needs to be adjusted, or you can simply use the app state, because the status will get updated in the app state. So when the payment is failed, you can navigate the user based on what is in your app state, right? So that is basically it for this system. Now, I mean, it's very simple, but remember I said we forgot something. We needed to add a dependency. We didn't add it at first, right? So let's navigate back to this place and let's add a dependency, right? So remember I said this is what we are using, so just copy this. This is what we are using, just so you know. Just copy this and move back here and simply paste, and that is it. So your code should work fine. When you look at the dependency, you see that it does not work on the web, so we cannot test it on the web. So we'll have to test it on an actual Android device. So see you on the Android device. So we're gonna tell this is our page. We have to make a payment. So let's click on the button to make the payments. So automatically Flutterwave checkout opens in an inbuilt web view, and you can see there is a checkout form. Here we'll put our card details. We're currently in the test mode, and all transactions are marked in the test environment. All right, so here we're going to put in our card details. These card details, they are basically for testing purposes, right? They are provided by Flutterwave for testing purposes. So we are going to just put this one here, the card number, put in the expiry dates of the card. This is a test card, not a real card, and they will put it the CVG, the 64, and pay, make the payment. So we're not saving that, so we'll proceed, right? So now we need to enter the OTP of the card. Like I said, this is a test card, so our OTP is just should be 1 2 3 4 5, and that was submit, and you see our payment is successful. Wow, you can see it took us to our success screen. Now we did all this without having to play with deep linking and all that, right? See, this tutorial I literally has searched for it everywhere. It's 2 years since I started learning this thing. I've not seen this tutorial out there, and trust me, this will still work, and it can also apply to other merchants, payments merchant out there, like Paystack and other payment companies, excuse me. So with this pattern, you can easily implement this thing in your app, right? I am sure there might be some other customization based on the context of your app, but at least you have a head start on what to do and how to do it. All right, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, so make sure you subscribe. I'll be posting videos for beginners, strictly beginners.